Hello students, I am Rajiv Jha. I am here to explain section 2 of my previous part 8 of question and answer on electrical machine. Here in this video, we will discuss on variation of excitation through phasor diagram when alternator is on load condition. I hope you will like this video. Let's continue. So this is effect of variation of excitation in alternator, and in this video we will talk about the on load condition actually. And in the last we will also see how the Weaker when inverted Weaker will be drawn actually. So here this is the on load condition. So in on load condition we will here we will see there is a two assumption actually. These two assumptions, first assumption is mechanical power should be constant, and second one is armature resistance must be neglected. So mechanical power should be constant mean the value of mechanical power is equal to constant, and in steady state condition we know mechanical power equal to electrical power, PE, or electromechanical power actually. So PE equal to PM in case of the steady state condition or in case of the stability or stable condition. So here we here we do the variation of the excitation actually. So in because of this case the stable region, because we want the alternator should be stable, whatever the excitation we move from normal excitation to over excitation, or we move from normal excitation to under excitation, in this case the alternator will not be unstable. So because of this we assume mechanical power should be constant and mechanical power equal to electrical power. That means electrical power is also constant. Okay, here is electrical power is also constant here. So what is electrical power? This is one is called the electrical power. Okay, this one is electrical power. So there is a two equations for electrical power. First is EV upon XS sin del equal to VIA cos phi, where E is the EMF, V is the terminal voltage, XS is the synchronous reactance, and del is the load angle. And V into IA is the armature current, and cos phi is the power factor. Second equation you have see. Second equation is Q equal to V upon XS E cos del minus V. That means this is the equation of reactive power actually. So this one is equation for active power, and this equation is for the reactive power. Okay, so here we discuss the active power is constant. Okay, in case of the on load condition the active power is constant. So the variation of reactive power should be measured. Okay, when I excite from normal to over excitation, or normal excitation to under excitation, in that case the variation is noted or measured only in Q, actually only in Q, that means only in reactive power. Okay, so here we see the next one. Yes, actually P is constant. So P is constant, V is the terminal voltage. So terminal voltage is also constant because alternator, when alternator is connected with infinite bus system, so infinite bus system or a system where voltage and frequency should be constant. So we consider here power is constant and terminal voltage, that is which is connected to the infinite bus system, should also be constant. Okay, XS is the synchronous reactance. So synchronous reactance, here we talk about synchronous reactance, it is also constant because we are not moving this winding actually. Okay, in between of the when the alternator is running, in that case we can't change the winding. Okay, we can't change the winding. So in that case we assume this XS equal to constant. So total we can say P XS upon V is constant value, and if the remaining is E sin del, it is also a constant value. So B when you can say change the excitation, so we will have to understand the locus is made through the E sin del, or you can say the we will have to consider that in every excitation, when we change the excitation, E sin del should be constant in that case. So we will have to consider this very carefully when we draw the phasor diagram. We will see in the in between of this video actually. Clearly you will see all of these detail. So here E sin del should be constant. So the next one is, you have seen here also, VIA cos phi. So VIA cos phi, here the terminal voltage is constant, P is constant, that means IA cos phi should be constant. So we will have to focus on whenever the current is changing, then in that case IA cos phi should be constant, or you can say that this IA cos phi will make a loci of or locus of IA, armature current. Okay, so here we discuss actually, there you see P upon V IA cos phi equal to constant. So we have two constant, E sin del equal to constant, these value should not be affected, or second one is IA cos phi equal to constant, that means these value should not be affected, or these values should be constant in every situation. Whatever you do, whatever your excitation is increase or decrease, it doesn't matter, the E sin del and IA cos phi should be constant in that manner. Okay, that is the you can say the key terms when we will make a phasor diagram. So we will continue on that thing actually. So here we will talk about the first of all, we are going to normal excitation to over excitation. In that case, that means we increase the excitation. Okay, how we increase or decrease the excitation? So we consider here the field winding, we connected the field winding with the rheostat, and that rheostat is when we you can say we moving, we move the, or we change the resistance, and through that we control the field current, and through field current we control the excitation. DC field current, we control the excitation over here. So in this case excitation will be increases. Okay, so excitation will be increases, that means normal excitation, you know, E cos del equal to V. Okay, here I told you actually, E cos del equal to V. Okay, this is the condition for normal excitation. We know in my previous video I have already discussed this. E cos del equal to V is the condition for normal excitation. Okay, so here you see E cos del, this is the del 1 actually. So E cos del 1, yeah, E1 cos del 1 equal to V. Okay, in this case when we neglected the resistance, armature resistance over here. So here you see E cos del equal to V. So this is the condition of, this is the phasor diagram for the normal excitation. Okay, here the current is minimum actually. We will see why it is minimum. And the value of E cos del equal to V, that's why this value will be 0. So the reactive power is 0. So in this case, in the normal excitation, only active power will be flow, because we know, we consider PE must be constant. Okay, so in normal excitation only active power will be flow. Okay, in my previous no load condition, in where at that point I have seen in the normal excitation the alternator is floating, that means there is neither active power or reactive power will flow in the flow into the flow, or you can say not absorb, not supply, not absorb the reactive or active power in the alternator. So in that case we are saying that alternator is floating in floating with the infinite bus in my previous video, where no load condition is occurred. Here in on load condition the Q is 0, but the constant value of electromagnetic power will be present, that means a constant power, active power will flow through the alternator. Okay, next one. So this is I told you earlier, we will have to consider E sin del should be constant. So here you see, this is called, this is E cos del, okay, sorry, this is E cos del, okay, and this one is E sin del. Okay, this one is E sin del. So this E sin del should be constant in this particular way. So we will see how it is constant, and when we change the excitation actually from normal to overload excitation, then we will see, okay, how we will have to constant of E sin del 1 at any case. So the locus of, in that case, the locus should be, the locus of E or EMF should be this line. That means the point we will get EMF should be this line in the overload case, over excitation case, and in under excitation the locus should be, the locus of EMF should be this. Okay, in over excitation the locus should be this. Okay, we will see in my next in upcoming slide actually. So here, yeah, this one is the, when here we discuss only active power flow from the alternator. Okay, so this one is the current actually. We will talk about the current should be constant. So this one is I cos phi. So phi, here the phi is the angle between, phi is the power factor angle, and it is between of V and IA. But here you see the phi, the value of phi is 0. So that's why the value of IA1, so we will get a current value is IA1, and the you can say the minimum value we will get. Okay, so here also you will see the Ia cos phi 1 cos phi. So that means the locus of armature current should be this. Okay, in case of the overload we will go here right side. In case of the underload so in case of the over excitation we will go for the right side. In case of under excitation we will go for the left hand side. Okay, so this is called the locus of armature current, and this one is called the locus of EMF. Okay, so let's see what will happen when we increase the EMF or increase the excitation. Okay, so here we increase the excitation. So when we increase the excitation, you just notice down del 1, the value of del 1 will be decreases. Okay, in the upcoming slide we compare the load angle actually. So we see here, when the excitation is increased, it follow these locus. Okay, and the current is going right side, and this is the case of over excitation. Why it is over excitation? Because E2, here is the E2 actually, this one is E2. So E2 cos del, cos del 2, E2 cos del 2, value of E2 cos del 2 is this one. This one is called the E2 cos del 2. Okay, this one is called the E2 cos del 2. So here is, you can say this is called the E2 cos del 2, and this value is greater than V. You will see again, I just draw it clearly. This is E2 cos del 2, E2 cos del 2. Okay, this one is E2 cos del 2, E2 cos del 2. Okay, and this one is greater than V. Okay, that's why E2 cos del 2 is greater than V, del 2 is greater than V. Okay, del 2 is greater than V. So through this way we can say it is over excitation actually. Here you can draw the over excitation. So over excitation means we give the large field current, so the large EMF is generated, and it exceed the terminal voltage. This is called the overexcitation. So in overexcitation we will get a positive value of Q, reactive power. So in that we know the positive value of Q is called the deliver reactive power. Okay, here you will also noted that the value of IAX2 IAXS is large. Actually in the previous the value of IAXS is this. In this case the value of IA2XS is increased. It is because of the value of armature current is increased, because in my previous case the armature current is this, in this case the armature current is increases. So through this way you learn you learn here the value of when we increase or when we go from the normal excitation to over excitation, in that case the load angle will decreases. Okay, the power factor angle will increases and power factor is decreases. And okay, power factor angle is increases and power factor is decreases, and the next one is the armature current is increases. Okay, these things you have noted. Load angle will decreases, power factor angle will increases, armature current will increases, and the EMF, or you can say the excitation will increases, and it follow the this locus path, and armature current follow this locus path. Okay, so next one we will confirm this, actually confirm this theory. So this one is, you have seen, again we increase the excitation, so again we will get a, again we increase the excitation, again we get the E cos del is greater than V. So we will get more positive value of reactive power, so we can say the more deliver reactive power. In that case the value of phi 2 is more. In that case the del, you can say the load angle will reduces more. In that case the armature current, the value of armature current will be more. In that case power factor is increases, so the power factor angle is increases, that means power factor will reduces more. Okay, when we excite when we give the excitation more. Okay, so in that case when we increase the excitation more, in that case the load angle will decreases, power factor angle will increases, armature current we will see increases here. Okay, now let's see with the help of you can, if we compare it, then you clearly notice this increase or decrease. So for condition of first is, this is the normal condition. Okay, then second one, the load angle is the load angle is decreases here. You see clearly this, when we increase the excitation, so load angle will decrease here. Okay, power factor angle is increase, load angle will decrease, armature current is increase. In the previous section we will get this, in the when we increase the excitation the armature current will increases, power factor angle will increases. Okay, and the EMF is increases, of course. The next one we will see by comparing this. So here you see, this is, you can say the clearly you see all of these effect. The load angle is del 1 is more than del 2, then at the last del 3. Okay, first phi 0, or you can say the 0 value, then greater than phi 1, and this phi 1 is smaller than phi 2. Okay, sorry, here phi 1 is greater than smaller than phi 2. Okay, and del 1 is you can say greater than, del 1 is greater than del 2, del 2 is greater than smaller than del 3. So del 1 is more angle. Actually whenever the excitation is increases the load angle will be decreases. So here we get the conclusion, actually from seeing this we will get the conclusion. So the conclusion is, if the excitation increases so load angle decreases. You see here load angle del 1, del 2, del 3. So whenever the excitation is increases, the load angle will be decreases here. You clearly notice this. Okay, then second one, yes, armature current IA increases. Okay, you clearly see this. Actually, initially the armature current is this, then the armature current, the value of armature current will increases, then at the last when the excitation is increases more, the armature current, the value of armature current is more. So here you see this conclusion is right. Okay, the next one is power factor decreases. Okay, here you see this is the first we will get a power factor that is equal to phi equal to power factor angle equal to 0, though, so cos phi equal to 1, the maximum one, power factor is maximum. Then phi 1 is increases. So when the phi, yeah, you can say the power factor angle increases, in that case cos phi will reduces. So we know phi 1 is smaller than phi 2. So in both case phi 2, the least value of power factor will get when the highest value of power factor angle we have. So where in the in case of when the excitation is I3 E3, then we will get a least value of power factor angle. So we can say the power factor decreases. Okay. So the next one is, yeah, positive reactive power increases. Yes, positive reactive power increases. That means we know the equation in my previous equation, or you can see the reactive power equation. In a reactive power equation, we know V upon Xs E cos del minus V. So E cos del, if the value of E cos del will be increases, so the value of positive V upon, that is the our previous Q equal to V upon Xs, okay, E cos del minus V. Okay, here you see E cos del is increases, in that case the value of reactive power will be increases and more positive. Okay, so through this way you can say positive value, or you can say the positive reactive power increases. Okay, next one, in my previous discussion we will talk about the normal excitation to over excitation. Okay, we vary the excitation from normal excitation to over excitation. In this case we vary the normal excitation to under excitation. Okay, so first we will have to talk in like a previous one, E cos del equal to V. Okay, this is the condition of normal excitation. Here we see E cos del equal to V. Okay, so here we can say E cos del equal to V, and the second one is IA cos 1. So we will not discuss the normal excitation. Actually only active power will flow from the alternator, the value of Q equal to 0. Okay, so the next one is, so here under excitation, that means we will decrease the EMF. So in my previous case the EMF, or you can say excitation, we will have this one, this level, then we decrease from this E2 we will get. So the value of, now here we will get the so the, you can say in my previous case, sorry, so here you see we will go for the under excitation. So the value of del is increases, the value of del is increases, load angle is in the previous case when we go for the go from the normal excitation to over excitation, that value of del will be reduces or decreases. In this case when we come from the normal excitation to under excitation, in this case load angle will be increases. Okay, the power factor, so power factor is increases here. Okay, okay, in the previous section you see the value of power factor is 0, so here the power factor is increases, the value of del is, you see the value of del 1 is looking smaller, del 2 is 0. And the third one is the value of EMF. The value of EMF it reduces. Okay, the power factor is reduces here. Okay, you all clearly seen actually the what will happen actually here. And through this we should have here we will also maintain the E2 sin del 2 constant, and I2 cos phi 1 is should be constant here. We will also maintain this. So the current is now, because of under excitation, you see the current is follow the locus of left hand side. Follow locus of left hand side, and the value of armature current is increases here. That means in both case, when your excitation when your excitation you have done your excitation from normal excitation to over excitation, in that case also the armature current is increases. When you do your excitation, or when you change your excitation from normal excitation to under excitation, in that case also the armature current will increases. Okay, in both case armature current will increases. So here you see clearly see this actually. So here armature current is increases. Now we do more actually, the value of Q. So here you see, because of E cos del should be in the under excitation condition, the value of E cos del is smaller than V, the terminal voltage. So E cos del is smaller than V. In that case the value of Q will be negative. Okay, Q is the reactive power. As we discussed earlier, the real power or active power is always constant in case of the no load, in case of the on load condition. So here we will talk about the only about the reactive power. So this is here under excitation condition, the reactive power will be negative. That means it absorbs the absorb the reactive power actually from infinite bus system or any other system. It absorbs the reactive power, it is not supplied. The negative means this. So the next one, we will try and get a new you can say we will reduce the excitation more from the normal excitation. We will get more you can say that we will get large or increases the load angle, we increases the power factor angle. Okay, but we reduces the power factor here. Okay, and we increases the current also, armature current also, and we will increase the more negative value of reactive power. We increase more negative value of reactive power. So these type of changes will occur. So in the last we compare all these things actually. In the first case, this is the case of normal excitation. This is the case when we go from the normal excitation to under excitation, and you notice this, the value of del 2 is more than del 1. Okay, and then third one is the value of del 3 is more than del 2 and more than del 1. So del 1 is the least one actually, load 1, the del 1 is the least actually, the value of del 1. So more is del 3. So del 3 is more than del 2 then del 1. Okay, in this case, and the value of flux, so phi 2 is more than phi 1. Okay, these two conclusions we will have to see. Okay, let's start. Load angle increases, yes, load angle increases. Armature current increases, yes, armature current increases, because in IA2 the value of the first IA1 is this one, IA2, and this one is the IA3. You can say the armature current is increases. Okay, then power factor decreases, yes, power factor decreases, because initially the value of power factor, this is the power factor phi 2 phi 1, so the value of phi 1 is smaller, so smaller, that means power factor is increases. Okay, because cos the value of phi is small, that means cos phi is large. Okay, so initially, so we can say the power factor decreases. When we decreases the excitation, the power factor will also be decreases, and negative reactive power increases. Okay, we will discuss earlier how the negative reactive power increases, because E cos del will be negative, or you can say smaller than V, terminal voltage. In that case we will get a negative power actually. So this negative reactive power will be increases in case of when we decrease the excitation more. Okay, so through this way you learn how the we'll do the excitation actually, and how the variation of excitation occurred. So at the last we judge here, at the last we take here actually effect of alternator. So here we will see load angle will decreases. Okay, here in the normal to over excitation case load angle will decreases, and in normal to under excitation load angle will increases. Okay, then second one, armature current. So in normal to over excitation, okay, once normal to over excitation armature current will increases, and normal to under excitation armature current will also be increases here. Okay, the third one is power factor. So in both case power factor will decreases, normal to over excitation, normal to under excitation. Reactive power in both cases increases, but normal to over excitation positive reactive power will be increases, or you can say the reactive power more reactive powers given to use as a supplier or supply the reactive power more. And in case of the normal to under excitation more reactive power will be absorbed. Okay, in both case the reactive power will be increases. Okay, so the next one is, so here we talk about V curve and inverted V curve. Okay, this from this result we draw the V curve actually, then after we will draw the inverted V curve. So here we will see the V curve is the curve between where the two we have choose the two axes. First or you can say the y axis taken as the armature current, and x axis taken as the excitation. Okay, this is the excitation, this is the armature current. So it completed from this you can say from this graph we completed the V type structure, so that's why its name is V curve. Okay, this V type structure we have made from this value, so that's why it is called the V curve. Okay, so what we will see how it how we make the V curve actually. So in this video you have seen load angle. Actually initially we know the Ia minimum is the minimum armature current. So when we will get a minimum armature current, two condition. First is it is a unit power factor and unit power factor load or unit power factor condition. Okay, second one is it is a normal excitation. Okay, in case of the normal excitation you will get the minimum value of armature current. Okay, remember this. In my previous phasor diagram you have seen both cases are either we will talk about the normal to over excited to under excitation. Okay, both case you have seen normal excitation in the condition of normal, at the condition of normal excitation the minimum armature current we will get. Okay, that is the important question, important statement actually. So if we decrease the excitation, so we will go for the left. If we decrease the excitation, the armature current, the value of armature current will be increases. Okay, from the normal excitation if we decrease the excitation, then because this is the this is called the excitation, so if we decrease the excitation then armature current will increases. Here you see armature current is increases. Okay, if we decrease the excitation. Okay, so in that case reactive power, or you can say we will get a reactive power or leading power factor. Okay, sorry, yeah, under excitation case, this is the under excitation case. In case of this is the reactive power, negative of the reactive power. Okay, so this is negative reactive power and this is the leading power factor angle actually. leading power factor load when we talk about the under excitation. Okay, then next one is when we talk about the over excitation. So this is the normal to over excitation table, and in this case when we talk about the over excitation, then the value of lagging power factor and the value of Q will be positive. Here you will also note that in the also noted that in the over excitation case, if we increase the excitation, then armature current, if we increase the excitation, because this is the over excitation table, so if we increase the excitation, the armature current will be increases. Okay, so here you see the armature current will be increases, you know. So the from this way we draw the V curve. Okay, so what is the condition of, so here you see the condition is lagging power factor and Q positive. Okay, Q positive, yes, I have got the result Q positive, and the value of Q positive will be increases when we increase the excitation. Oh, okay, this result we will coming from the phasor diagram actually. So from this result we will draw this V curve. Okay, the next one is, so we will talk about the inverted V curve. So inverted V curve is the curve which is made between of power factor and excitation. Okay, because why it is called the inverted V curve, because it is just the inversion of the V curve, or you can say the mirror image of the V curve. So here you see when the least when we will get the least armature current, when we will get the least armature current, in that case we will get the full or unit power factor. Okay, in my previous session in sorry in my previous session in this video actually, so you see that there is a when I draw the phasor diagram, so in that phasor diagram you have seen there is a point when we talk about the normal excitation. In normal excitation you have you may notice the angle between of V and IA will be 0. Okay, the angle between V and IA was 0. In that case the power factor, the angle or power factor angle in that case we will get a phi equal to 0. So the cos phi will be maximum over there actually. So through this way we can we notice that IA, when we will get at unity power factor at normal excitation, in the middle at the normal excitation, the value of IA will be minimum and power factor is maximum. Okay, and when we decrease the excitation here, so when we decrease the excitation, then here you see when we decrease the excitation, so we will talk about the normal to under excitation case. In this case power factor, the power factor is decreases, should be decreases. So here you see the power factor is decrease here. Okay, and if we talk about the over excitation case, when we go for the normal to over excitation, when we increases the excitation, in that case also the power factor is decreases. You notice here. Okay, you will see here actually. So here you are seeing actually this is the case of the this is called the, just because of these type of things, from the normal excitation to under excitation case, in that case also the power factor is decreasing here. Or in the second case, yeah, you will talk about the normal excitation to over excitation case. When we go for the normal excitation to over excitation, in that case also the power factor is decreases. So that's why it makes a inverted V curve. At the last we will talk about the load angle. So load angle and excitation graph actually. So here we will see when the excitation is low, or the when we decrease the excitation, here this is the normal excitation actually. When we decrease the excitation or under excitation, in under excitation case load angle will be decreases. Okay, here the load angle is decreases. In the normal to under excitation, sorry, increases. Normal to under excitation the load angle will be increases, and in normal to over excitation the load angle will decreases here. Okay, So through this way you have learned the concept and graph of del versus load angle versus excitation. Okay, so this is how we are going to finish this video. I hope you like this video. If you have any doubt, please mention on comment. I will give you solution as earlier as possible. And last one, I want to say thank you for watching this video.